There's a lot of things to consider when you're painting, so let's start with just painting on a flat canvas. Sketching in itself can be difficult. For me, it's hard to see the lines of a lead pencil without going over the lines multiple times. And when you go over the line, it makes it heavier and darker, so when you need to erase, you might as well start over with a new canvas. Another thing I personally have to consider is how steady my hands decides to be that day. I struggle with having a steady hand. I work a graveyard shift, so I consume a lot of caffeine. However, I don't think that's why my hands are so shaky. They just are. Funny story, I was splicing a wire at work, and when I tried to crimp, my coworkers asked if I was okay because my hand was shaking like I was in 40-degree weather. That's just something I have to deal with when painting. The amount of control for a paintbrush is different from a colored pencil or a marker. Where the point of your pencil meets the paper is where it'll be marked. With a paintbrush, you kind of need to lead the bristles and hope that the colors stay inside the lines. Things to keep in mind is the layers you gotta put down. It may be the type of cheap paint that I buy, but when you put the paint down, it goes on very transparent. So what I do with the base layer is paint one layer, wait for it to dry, then I add another layer. When I'm working on the eyes, you can see that I move from eye to cheek, back to the eyes, so that I give the paint time to dry before adding another layer. When you do this, you also have to consider how fast your paint is drying and where you put your hands. I can't tell you how many times I'm painting and I paint on my hand and ultimately smudge the painting. When I blend the paint, I like to work it wet and dry, but that's something I'm still practicing. When painting Pokeballs, as you can imagine, having curved surface to paint on is not easy. It's also a very small surface, and you don't have a place to rest your hands on most of the time. Another thing to consider is the slick surface the ball has. Prepping is really the key for this to work out. Before anything else, you need to be very careful with how you prep the Pokeball. Generally, you want to scuff the surface, then clean the surface with soap and water, and then spray paint in layers for what you want the background to be. Compared to just a flat canvas, there are so much more things to consider when painting on a Pokeball or any other smooth surface. But yes, painting a Pokeball is a challenge, but it's from these challenges you and I can get better. I definitely can't fit every step in this video, but if you're interested in knowing my process in painting Pokeballs, just leave a comment down below or reach out to me in my DMs on Instagram. I love interacting with anyone who loves art and sharing what I've learned in my art journey. Thanks for watching.